Hi, it's me. I will be doing the second ever Q&A that I've done on this channel. I will link the first one up here in case you're curious about more questions and more answers. And I have my questions on my computer, and I have my red wine, and I have sorted the questions in kind of a reasonable order, but I haven't really thought of any answers yet, so we're just going to have a chat. I thought that would be nice. Of course, I want to also thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing to my channel, because this is my Q&A to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. So I'm really happy about that, and I asked for some questions on here and on Instagram, and I got some really good ones. I thought we should start with the two most juicy questions. So first we have, will you marry me? And to that I have to say no. But I appreciate the effort. But I am, as they say, spoken for. But if I wasn't, then sure, yeah, marry people from the internet seems like a really good idea. Second, we have an equally juicy question, which is, do you have a favorite chord? And yeah, I do actually. Right now I'm really into a sus4. I like the other sus4s as well, but on the ukulele I think that the A sus4 sounds particularly nice, so that's my favorite chord. How long have you been a musician? That's an interesting question, because that of course depends on what you define as a musician. I've always wanted to do music, but when I was younger I saw myself as maybe an aspiring musician or something like that, and I'm still not a professional musician, but I do make music and put it on the internet on a regular basis, so I guess you could say that I am a musician. I also sing in the Oslo Philharmonic Choir, and I have been in that choir for 7 years, no, 8 years? I've been in that choir for 8 years. But that is an amateur choir in the sense that we don't get a salary. So I guess I've been an amateur musician for 8 years and an internet musician for like 3 years-ish. And that goes together with the next question, which is, what year did you start your YouTube channel? And I started my YouTube channel in 2017 in the summer, and I didn't have a channel from before. I know a lot of people have channels that they haven't, you know, filled with anything, but I started my channel 3 years ago, and it was a very good decision that I'm very happy with. What is the most challenging thing for you about doing YouTube? To some extent, I guess it is to find the time to film, but that's not really that big of a challenge because I tend to just prioritize it. That makes me sound like such a dork, but yeah, I try to prioritize the video making because I really like it, but sometimes it's hard to find time when the sun is out and I'm home alone, because I don't like to film when my boyfriend is here, even though he's really nice and supportive about it, but it's just something about me knowing that he has to be quiet in another room and stuff. So yeah, just getting the schedule to work, I guess, it's kind of hard, and also to find a balance between making popular content that people want and making the content that I want to make. And I know that I should probably just make the content that I want to make, but I guess it's the nature of the game that you kind of want to reach more people sometimes. The idea would be this kind of Venn diagram where you have the popular content and then you have what I want to make, and then you mush them together, and then I can just find the videos in the middle. Yeah, this didn't work, but you got the idea, I hope. So that's a challenge, to just find those videos in the middle of the Venn diagram, to find the right content that I enjoy making and people enjoy watching. So yeah. Favorite cover you've done? Right from the top of my head, I think my a cappella cover of Bad Guy might be my favorite, and I spent a lot of time editing that video. It was really fun, so I'll link that below. I'll link all of the things that I mentioned below, so you can just check it out later. But yeah, maybe the Bad Guy cover, and also Kurt Weill's Pretty Pimpin' that I did last summer. That was really fun, and that was just kind of a simple cover, but I was really happy with the way I filmed the kind of b-roll thing and the way I did the harmonies. Which one of your original songs do you like the most? That's really hard. It's like choosing between my children in a way. But I think maybe the newest one that I did, which was Where the Wild Things Are. I really enjoyed working on it and I thought it turned out really cute. So yeah, I tend to pick the most recent one I've done. From my released songs, I think that 736 might be my favorite, and that's my least streamed ones out of all of them. I'm not so happy with the production, so I get why maybe not so many people listen to it, but in terms of writing, I am really happy with it. And I have an EP coming out in the autumn. I haven't set a date yet, but I'm going to release an EP in the autumn. And I can announce the title if you want. The title is going to be Sketches, and that's not so very original, but it's very like singer-songwriter-y, and all of the songs and their titles as well are very singer-songwriter-y, so it's kind of cliche, but I still really like it. And all of those songs are a lot about the writing, so there are some songs on that EP that might be some of the favorites that I have written, especially one of them, which is called One of the Pretty Girls, and I have already released a version of that to this channel where I just played it and sung it. But I've changed the lyrics a bit since then, so now it's even better. But I'm really happy with the writing for that song, so I am very excited about showing it to you soon in its finished version. What are your favorite lyrics you've written? What made you write it, and what were you thinking about? I'm speaking of One of the Pretty Girls. It has this line that goes, "And we're dancing to lie, we're not feeling 22." And I was very happy with that because I didn't plan it when I wrote the first part. I just kind of imagined dancing to a lie as some kind of weird metaphor, but then just rest of it just popped into my head because we dance a lot to Taylor Swift at the parties that I'm at, and none of us are particularly fans of Taylor Swift, but it's fun to dance to, and we all dance around and we sing that we're feeling 22. And I don't know about you, but I have never felt 22 in my life. I don't know what that is, but I thought that was a cool line because it just paints a very clear picture in my head. Are you planning on releasing music continuously? Yeah, I guess I am. I am going to release the EP, as I said, and I have been releasing quite a few singles this year just because I want to kind of try out different things, both in terms of songwriting and producing and the whole release thing. And I think it's a good idea to release singles kind of continuously if you can, just because you can try some different methods and you can see how people react and if they like them, and you will also have something to post about on the internet repeatedly. So yeah, I plan on doing that for a while, as long as I can, and then the EP will be out during the fall, autumn, whatever you call that season, maybe in October. I hope to be able to get it out in October. And then, as I said in my update video, I am working on an album in my mind. I haven't started recording anything yet, but I really want to make an album. And this EP is kind of songs that I just feel like I need to get out of my system before I release my album, if that makes sense. So I see all of these singles as kind of preparation and practice and just like building experience and momentum and get more music out there. Putting music out on the internet. It's so much fun. You can do it too. I'm going to make a video very soon about how to get your music up on streaming platforms and stuff, so stay tuned for that one. Would you do a collab with me? Yes, I would absolutely do a collab with you, Maria. Just send me a message and we will figure it out. What were some of your biggest musical inspirations growing up and how have they influenced your music? My first big musical influence was Spice Girls. I really loved Spice Girls. I guess they have influenced me in terms of my hair, because I really wanted to be Ginger Spice. And maybe in terms of, I don't know, 90s playfulness and my preference for platform shoes. I was also a big fan of Madonna, and I think the way she has influenced me is the idea of having these different concepts and aesthetics for the different musical eras. My biggest musical influence in my early teens was Nirvana, as you probably know, and Nirvana has influenced me a great deal. I think both in terms of the music that I listen to and the music that I make, even though I'm not that grungy, although I do call my music grunge pop just because it's so poorly produced. No, but I am very inspired by that way of writing songs with certain words that are repeated, and then we have these different kind of parts of the song put up against each other, and also a lot of the imagery and the way of writing lyrical lines I think is very inspired by Kurt Cobain. And I did have scans of Kurt Cobain's journal when I was growing up. I still have it, and he had this list with his top 50 albums, and I just started buying all of those albums when I was like 13 and 14, so I bought all of those albums on CD and I listened to them religiously. So that's kind of how I got my music taste, and I am really happy about that and grateful. So yeah, definitely been influenced by that. What's your current favorite song? My current favorite song is Reality by Grimes. I have listened a lot to Grimes lately. I thought that this year would be all about Notes in a Conditional Form, and I do really like that album, but I think I have been listening more to Grimes than the 1975 in 2020. We never knew what 2020 would be like, and I don't know, there's just something about Grimes that inspires me a lot. I think she's cool, and I think she's a really cool and unique producer, so I would like to be able to make more music like hers. But yeah, Reality I think is a really good song. So I've been listening to that on repeat for a few weeks. Yeah, I do that when I get one favorite song. I just listen to that over and over again until my mind just kind of overloads with that song and I have to listen to something else. What kind of new instrument would you like to learn? I guess I would just try to be better at the instruments that I play, because I'm not actually that good. I don't practice that much. I live with a bass player who practice a lot, aka my boyfriend, who just plays his bass guitar and also the guitar for hours on end, and is not always just practicing, he just plays a lot. So when I complain about not being able to play things tightly and things that are kind of difficult, he's like, yeah, but you know, you don't practice for that many hours a day, do you? And I'm like, no, I don't. So I guess that's my goal, to just practice more and be better at the instruments that I do play. If I was going to play a new instrument, I kind of want to buy those little kalimba, is that what they're called? These little wooden things that has these deep things that you press down, and I do kind of want to buy one of those just to use them as extra sounds in my songs. I don't know if that counts. What's a good way to record a song that you want to play along with in a video? Yeah, I record all of my covers and singing videos live, and when I do that I just record directly into GarageBand. That allows me to record several tracks as well, so I think that's really handy. And then I export the sound file as an MP3 and I sync that with the video I sync that with the video in iMovie. This person who asked this said that he used iMovie, so I guess you can also use GarageBand because you probably have a Mac. I would recommend that you use GarageBand. I also mentioned something about recording voice memos on your phone, and that's the thing, because if you don't have a proper mic, recording into GarageBand will not sound that good because the mic on the laptop is not so very good. So I think I would actually recommend, if you're watching this and you want to make music videos, that you record the sound on your phone and then you can just airdrop that recording into the MacBook, and then you can take that sound and you can just drag it into GarageBand. And if you're going to be using or recording more tracks, then you can listen to that first track from GarageBand on your headphones while recording a second track on your phone. And then I'm pointing to my phone because it's on the table. And then you can take your second track and airdrop that and sync that with the first track in GarageBand. And then you can edit the tracks in GarageBand. I think that's the way that I would do it. I hope that answered that question. Oh, so many questions. I have been filming for such a long time. Okay, if you use any drum presets, what's your favorite sound? I just use the MIDI drums in the GarageBand. So I pick a drum kit that I like, usually an electronic drum kit, and then I just play on my MIDI keyboard. So yeah, I just use the sounds that are already in GarageBand. My favorite sounds to use are snaps, because that's how advanced I am. I really like to add these little snaps in weird places. Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do aside from creating art, music, and YouTube videos? Drink wine. No. I really like writing, so I guess that's my answer. That's a big passion of mine as well. Writing fiction. So yeah. What's your ideal Friday night? That depends on the season and also the level of coronavirus. I like to just be with my friends and eat dinner. I really like to cook, so cook some dinner for some people, invite them over, have some wine, listening to some records, talk, have a good time. And then if it's summer and not coronavirus, then we would maybe go out and have some more drinks and some more talks. If it's winter, I'm not so crazy about going out, and I'm not usually that crazy about going out in Oslo because it's so expensive, and it's like I'm already with the people that I like. Why would I go out to some bar just because it's loud music that we don't decide ourselves and we can pay a lot of money for a beer? But I always tend to be more positive about going out in the summer. Sitting outside and have some utepils. Outside beer, that's a word, because it's so nice to be able to sit outside when it's sunny in the evening and just have a beer. And especially now, because it's Corona and we can't really do it, that's all I want to do. So yeah. Favorite comfort food? Spaghetti with lots of oregano. That's it. And nutritional yeast on top, because I'm vegan. So spaghetti with some kind of vegan tomato-based sauce and lots of oregano and nutritional yeast on top. What's your go-to mood booster? I think running. Just going outside and running for a while and listen to some loud music in my headphones. That always make me feel better. And that was all of the questions. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any more questions, then just leave them in the comments. And everything I mentioned, I will link in the description box beneath this video. Yeah. I hope you're having a really nice day wherever you are, and I will see you very soon. Bye!